Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. So, welcome to the channel. This is Ray. This is Life and Vibe, and I'm a cardiac RN here in the United States, licensed. I have over a decade of experience, and the reason why my channel's here is I always want to give an opportunity for people who are interested in anything to do with anything medical at all, or anything that is they're wondering, what is going on with this particular person, creator, just medical things that are being put out by the public who have no medical training, no medical licensure, who have no idea, and who are trying to sell and make money off of people because they're on health journeys. And I really want to start bringing awareness to the public as to how problematic some of these folks really can be. I understand it's very inspirational to see somebody that you feel is somebody that you can reflect and kind of feel like you're similar to them. Like, oh, yeah, I kind of go through that. But I just always want to put out a word of caution who you get your medical information from. And this person that we're going to talk about today, our good old friend, Miss Chantel. Let me make sure my thing. I'm trying not to show that, but I'm trying to get good signal. Hold on, let me not block my signal too much over here. Hopefully everyone can see me good today. Is everyone good today? Hi, everyone. I'm going to come over this way. Hi. Oh, that looks better for my signal. Oh, no, I'm coming in and out. Coming in and out. Can everyone, I just trying to keep, I don't know. I guess everyone's at home this Saturday. It was nice weather. I was hoping everybody was outside. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, cheekbones. I need to check my emails. We need to talk about all this going on. Hi, two Dalmatians. I hope your puppies are good today. I'm not gonna look at the screen. I hope the puppies are good today. I'm gonna talk to people, not me. Well, I'm actually talking to the messages. So anyway, in celebration of Everyday Mariam having a new channel name, because I think yesterday it was just Mariam. And today it's Everyday Mariam. So I'm really confused. And just as people have channels that look at law and crime, I'm somebody who passionately does not like anybody who is taking advantage of covering any type of culpability through using health, especially when they're purposefully not taking care of their health. I mean, and this person is extremely problematic to me. And if you think this is the third day in the row, and this is why I've been streaming every day, is really to start to highlight that these carby big meals, and she's going to say this is once a day, she shouldn't be eating like this in one. She always says she puts it off, she'll eat it later. We know she finishes it the second the camera goes down. And so I am just asking, people to be very cautious about who you find as a wellness influencer for you. And just make sure that they really have some type of background and understanding. Because what we're going to be talking about before we get into Chantel's mukbang is that she actually has rebranded, because I think she realizes that potentially her time as far as making any adequate sums of money, and she does require a fair bit of money to maintain the husband and her eating habits, is that she needs to find a new grift. And that's what it is for Chantel now. She was not been able, even when she had a full-time job, she was supposed to do things like, if she was leaving the floor or her job, she was supposed to clock in and clock out, and she didn't do it. So right from, and even in her childhood, and I'm not saying that she didn't have things that are unstable about her mental character. And I think as a registered nurse, I always have to be aware of that. But I'm also very aware of where people take advantage of very good-natured people and misuse them for their gain. And this young lady, and really in my honest opinion, and these are just my opinions, is really using health in order to gain sympathy and money. And that's just one of her many cons. And it's not a scam. It's beyond this person being unstable. It's literally this person's grift. The eating, everyone feels sympathy because she just eats herself to death on camera. And she literally, that's what she's doing. But in my respect, at this time, even as a medical professional, when you're showing such little care for yourself and not moving forward, it's it's hard to, even in my profession, to have sympathy. You do and you don't. You want them not to feel any discomfort, I think, at that point, but you're well aware that the person themselves has kind of got themselves in the mess they're in. Anyway, if you like this type of conversation about medical stuff, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I just really want people to know why I'm here. I'm not here to call her names and shame her. And if she thinks me pointing out that she's a con artist is calling her names, I don't find myself any different than, like, medical Chris Hansen over here. It's like, I was sort of thinking about it, and the more I look at this person and the more I realize there's just so many people who use their health and legitimately taking from other people who really do need, and Chantel just using up anyway. Ugh. So before I lose everybody, I wanted to wish everybody coming up, and we'll keep showing them because I want to see how long these flowers last. I was at Trader Joe's today, and I'll bring everybody up soon and say hi in the chat soon. I just wanted to make sure that we just get going, respect that everybody's here on a Saturday, and we'll start showing stuff, and that I am going to start to then highlight everyone's chat. And if you have something really, really funny, then I'm certainly going to highlight it because that's what I always look for. Look at these. Happy Valentine's, everyone. I know I'm allowed to do Valentine's. It's okay for me. I'm okay with Valentine's. I don't have a Valentine except for Miss Junebug, and I already got her 2 things of treats today. But some of the flowers are still remaining from the original bouquet. So some of these flowers are still original. And as a registered nurse and somebody who works in healthcare, I feel that I should bring flowers for Miriam at all times, because that's, all of us dreamers, we all have all things. So I'm already collecting. If I decide to do emojis at some point, I don't know. I'm going to make sure that there's going to be a sad-looking pancreas. I got to write this down. Obviously, a piece of bread and a bouquet of flowers, because I feel sad for the pancreas. Chantel taking the pancreas out again today. You got to think she's eating this malarkey every single day of the week. Okay, and so yeah, I actually made notes because I wanted to make sure I stayed on point. All right, Chris, in real life, what did you got to say today? I know Miss Rose Thorne in the house. I haven't forgot you, Rose Thorne. Like, foodie content is great. Have you thought to react? Oh, absolutely, absolutely, every day. But foodie been so wild that I have not had a chance to even get to anything. Because Junebug and I obviously get our steps in every day, and that takes time. So we get our steps in, and I have errands, and Junebug is over here next to me. Let me see. Junebug, I'm going to show you real fast, sweetheart. She's up on her chair. So yeah, I absolutely am. In fact, what I had originally planned to do this evening, until I saw Foodie's Wild Mukbang again, because I just want to point out the diabetes all the time on this lady, is sort of like talking about lymphedema and lymphedema through amberlin and glycolasers on a live stream, and starting to use some of these people that bring up their medical stuff, and we get a nice medical conversation about it. And actually kind of debunk some of the different things that they're talking about, and where, I feel that they are really being not genuine with their audiences often, but Foodie on a whole different level. Foodie on a scam con. All right, let me show Miss Junebug real fast. So, because she just got up on the chair, and then we're going to get into this look at her trying to rebrand herself as a motivational and lifestyle guru, because that's what she's off trying to do on Google at the moment, because she know her time at YouTube coming to an end is my thoughts. Okay, so she's trying to move the grift. There's Miss Junebug. Say hi, Junebug. Sorry, I got the towel. Sorry, I've got the couch with the sheet. We got the dog. She's everywhere. I'm a terrible owner for that. So yeah, there's Miss Junebug. She's like hoping for a nice walk. We did go out afterwards, so I hope everybody who told me all the wonderful things they were going to get into yesterday, did get a chance to go and do that. And I know that I did get a chance to walk down. We went to the brewery, we grabbed a little seltzer drink they made there, and we walked on home. And Jubug was exhausted. And we had a really nice night. And I tried to take some time to watch some other content to get familiar. But then I just kind of realized that there's so many people who stream and they have no knowledge in anything half the time, except for Emily D. Baker and a few others, or real estate. But a lot of these people, especially when it comes to things about medicine and stuff, they've really no experience. All these health, wellness people, they've no experience, none whatsoever. So anyway, let's get to what Foodie's latest escapade is. Just so we can all start hashtagging this in our stuff so we can stop her madness. So today, and I hope this person is okay with me pointing their comment out on my page. So on my comments on one of my live stream from yesterday, let's get in here, my channel. Okay. And that's me live now. Oh, that's me live from yesterday. Okay. I'm like, is that me now? Okay. Okay. So it's not that I'm really interested. Okay. Sorry about this. All right. Okay. I actually thought I pinned the comment because I wanted to make sure I could see it again. All right. Well, anyway, let's not worry about me trying to find the comment. But basically what the person said was that Everyday Mariam is, if you look it up on Google, we're going to see how she has rebranded herself. So let me not just stare at a camera, and let me bring this page up to the screen. I'm glad thank you everybody for joining me this Saturday. I appreciate you all being here. I wanted to kind of hit some of the people maybe who live in Europe this evening, or anywhere else around the globe. So I'm trying different times to live stream, and so forth. So yeah, just thank you guys for joining me today. Okay. All right. Hopefully that's a good, we got the right screen up. There we go. Even better. Okay. So, oh, my flowers are beautiful. They're $3.99 from Trader Joe's. You're from the UK here. Hi. Hi. I do miss home, Eloise. There's lots of things. France. Hi. Bonsoir. Or bon moi. I don't know which one we're on at the moment in France. Oh, thank you, Miss Rose. Oh, I'm beautiful. Well, thank you, guys. No filters. Well, no, I do have the enhanced, slightly enhanced on StreamYard. Trying not to cut my bun off here, but I'm not trying to do too much ceiling. There we go. I'm trying to make the background look interesting. I've been, unlike Foodie, I've been trying to probably research about how to improve my streams, which means looking also at the camera, everybody. So thank you, guys. I'm really excited to be here because I made real notes, and Foodie looks like she's going to just go into a carb overload. Because I'm thinking to myself, this is why I document this almost every day. And if you want to join me on watching her and the, craziness of this thing going on with her being out here and rebranding herself and trying to figure out where is she going to kind of move to next? What's her next move? Well, I think we found it. Okay. So somebody, and I think whoever's in the chat, you can identify. I don't mind. And I wish I had taken note. I thought I knew which one it went to, and I pinned it so I would find it, but I rushed in here. So I was notified by somebody in my comments that Foodie, oh, I know which one it's in. Okay, I remember which it's in. Okay, sorry. Okay, all right, this is better. Okay, let me get my channel real fast. Okay, all right. So there's your stuff, Rose. Yeah, I look at your stuff. Okay, I know which one she put it on. I remember now. Okay, I suddenly my memory came back when I thought about it. It was this one. Okay, she put it on my promise, okay. And then she gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna try to play myself, but she put it on the. I thought it was on. Oh no, it wasn't this one. Okay, I'm lying. Okay, let's just put it. Let's just go back to Google. I apologize. I thought I pinned it to this one, but it was interesting. She basically told me if I look in Google and I put in Everyday Mariam, we will see how Foodie is trying to rebrand herself. If we get kind of past here. And she said that she said she's trying to rebrand herself as a leadership person. Um, and I should have brought this up earlier, but if you want to take the time and take a look, from what I understand, and I was looking at a lot of comments today, Foodie Beauty is out here on Google, and if you put in Everyday Mariam, oh, here she is. Oh, no, that's on YouTube. She is trying maybe in some of the LinkedIn and places like that. I don't have a LinkedIn account, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this one. But if you are wanting and you are a researcher, she is trying to rebrand herself as a lifestyle and a guru of some sort. Motivation and lifestyle coach is how she's trying to now rebrand herself. Just let that sink in for 2 seconds. Let that sink in. That's what Foodie is trying to do now. She's trying to be a lifestyle and a motivation person. So yeah, I'm not sure how long. There are people on OnlyFans who still have her OnlyFans content. Oh my gosh. Woo. I know. I was trying to catch up today with the latest, or not the latest, with some of the old Mr. Snowflake documentaries he did on Foodie Beauty, and just trying to get to know a little bit, because I had heard her mentioned on Zachary Michael's channel, but he really was not trying to promote her content because of her problematic behaviors when Nada came into the situation. So I didn't really pay attention, and I wasn't involved in Girl World. I was more involved. That was the only person I really watched in Girl World, and then the other stuff was more anti-MLM and 48 hours and the usual stuff that we ladies indulge in on a regular basis. And then I heard from an anti-MLM channel, or maybe it was Zachary Michael, one of the channels anyway, long story short, I heard that she had decided to sell Unicity products and the Unimate and the and all that. And that at my point was like, oh, hold on a second. This isn't great, I don't like, people, who are selling overpriced, sort of these supplements that most of the time of not doing anything but taking money from people. And I really, really have problems with people that try to influence people to not see their doctors and not follow up with their healthcare providers because this magic drink going to cure everything. And they're all proprietary blends. They have very little scientific backing. And it's just really roping somebody into a pyramid scheme. And they know that the business of vitamins and supplements is unregulated in the United States. So you get away with a lot of stuff. And it's so problematic. So that's what brought me to Foodie. And so I've just been kind of watching the train wreck ever since. And then when she started to talk about her diabetes publicly, then I felt as a registered nurse that I had a responsibility to show and explain to people that even when you are scatty seeing the physician, because she don't see the doctors at all, and if you're actually not following through with the diet and the exercise that is prescribed along with these medications, and you're sitting there and you're clickbaiting health in your titles. I'm very cautious about putting the word health in my title in case YouTube flags my monetization, because I haven't been able to upload my license. So if you want to subscribe, I'm getting closer and closer to like 1,850 subscribers, and every day I'm getting a little bit more. And so when I get to 2,000 subs, it will be I'll be able to upload as a RN and be able to go live, I hope, each day and bring in a medical forum and be able to talk to people and take time to answer, questions, not in the respect that I am a provider, but to help you, guide you. And, when you feel like you just can't talk to the doctor, what's going on around what we're talking about with these creators. So I really want to be able to open up a forum where people have a safe space to be able to talk about health, because these people are not safe spaces for health. They are very dangerous spaces for health. And that to me is concerning as a registered nurse. And I've seen them take over social media more and more. And I've seen the effects of these illnesses on my patient populations. And I feel that as a community, the only thing that we do to address these issues is, make informative TikToks and, very professional, or show behind the scenes and stuff. But we're not here like I'm trying to be, hopefully. I don't know if there's other nurses doing this. I don't really look. But this for me, when it comes to heart, diabetes, any of these things, it's really important for me. Really important. Now, cheekbones, at some point, I could actually figure out how to send you a link and just bring you on the stage. So if you are, wanting to come up and feel open or ready, you just let me know. Okay? I'm just going to let you know that. Okay. Hi. All right. We got Foodie Beauty here. Foodie's in the house. Well, I'm so glad you're here, girl. I brought you flowers. Happy Valentine's Day. I know it's not her end, but I'm going to wish it to you anyway, because I know you like that cameo coin, girl. I know you like that cameo coin. All right. We always like to bring a little bit of humor to it, too. Because health, we always have to bring a little humor to it. Okay? I get a little preachy sometimes because I don't like people scamming money. I really have a hard time. And the fact that this woman could be out here making 20 grand in a month on crazy is just, to me, like, well, I struggle to pay off my student loan debt, I'd like to see what her RPM on her stuff is at the moment. But if you want to, I'm going to try to take some more time to see if I can find these Googled links, because somebody would say she's out here trying to be a motivational lifestyle guru. Okay. So, my question has been, since she's started doing the mukbangs under the new name over the last couple of days, what happened to the sciatica? She's not riding in pain at all. I mean, I haven't seen the wince or the little, So I'm just curious, if she did have anything, what was it? She said, I don't think it was sciatica, because sciatica doesn't clear up like that, girl. Anybody out here in my chat who's ever had sciatica, drop a yes in the chat. The sciatica doesn't clear itself up miraculously in a 2-week period. I don't even think it was that, because my flowers, I think, were outlasting the sciatica. My last round of flowers. So I'm just trying to figure out if my flowers are going to outlast her pancreas at this point. Yeah. Yes, we get a lot of yeses in the chat here. Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm hoping I'm going to try to make the chat more fun. So I'm going to try to figure out how to make it more interactive. I haven't even had the time to research. Really keeping me so busy over here. And I'm not going to call her Mariam. I know that's her new name. I can try. I might forget, though. Mariam Foodie? I don't know. I feel it's just another way. It's the cycle, but, it's a cycle to continue. I just kind of feel that she is really using, I think she got diabetes unmanaged. Don't get me wrong. But that's not what she really wants to talk about to her followers, because that really is her problem. Anytime they ask her about the diabetes, she doesn't really want to face the reality of the diabetes, but she'll milk a fakey like a sciatica all day. Does that make sense? It's much easier to talk about and fake, stuff that isn't, real. And it was really what's your grandma's story, or trying to play, up to sympathy for people prior to the launch of Mr. Snowflake's video. She does so many things that I think initially, if you're a good person, and I think most people who are on YouTube, and there's some weird stuff. Don't get me wrong, because YouTube sorted out with just people live streaming for hours at a time, doing some really weird and strange things. That's how I remember YouTube. So I didn't come on to YouTube. And then about 2014, I was told when I was in, or before that, sorry, before that, probably 2012, around that time, I was told that YouTube was a place to get information about medical, lectures and so forth. And it was a very different platform. So I would just watch things from Harvard about, neurology or whatever the subject I was studying at the time. It was a good place. And I think Ninja Nerd wasn't even there. It was such, there was just like, uploads of like bad copies of Hallmark movies, and probably people like Foodie. And I wouldn't have been looking for mukbang content. That's not the content I would have been looking for at all, And then I started to look at, other types of things. And then over the years, I noticed that, there's some really good quality programming on here. And there's communities being built, and there's people doing some really important things on the community, calling out people who are scammers. And so, I just think that we kind of give a hall pass for people who will mention two subjects, religion and health. If somebody kind of cloaks themselves, we feel that we can't question them then. We can't question somebody about their religion. How can we question that? We can't question them about their health. We should be sympathetic because, but this person's very hard for me to feel sympathy for, because a lot of the health issues that she's had have been caused by her and her alone through her lifestyle choices. So where do we draw the line in saying, okay, if she then had reversed it, and when she really realized that she started working with a trainer and lost weight and really took that direction, then maybe then you're like, wow, I feel bad that, you had, kind of come through stuff. And I understand people have sensitivities to foods and so on and so forth. But for the vast majority, we get addicted to these foods because food companies are very intelligent and they know how to make you addicted. So if you keep going by Chick-fil-A, you're going to keep getting addicted to Chick-fil-A food because Chick-fil-A brines that chicken in salt. That's why people love that Chick-fil-A chicken, because it's brined in salt. It's actually one of the worst things if you have heart problems or high blood pressure, any of those, of the fast food that you should ever eat. It's terrible for you. It's terrible. I think the kale salad would be the only thing you could get from a Chick-fil-A. And I see people lining up like madness for that food. Just, it concerns me as a healthcare provider for multiple reasons. One, for obviously their health. I don't want to see anybody not feeling good, And I know it's not at some point, because that is not really food. It's just processed, from ingredients. Then you're not getting a lot of nutrition. And these people probably aren't really seeing healthcare providers. And healthcare is really expensive in the US. And so if you have a lot of things falling out, then you're probably going to end up in an ER. And they're not going to take care of your problems in an emergency room because they're going to think it's a chronic condition. And so they're going to tell you to go to the doctor that you don't have. And you're not going to get the pain pills and all the things that you think we should load you up with, because we're not. Because I promise you, if we get, insurance and the medical industry and so on and so forth is getting out of being, the candy shop to people. So I'm just giving you heads up. And young people are getting colon cancer much younger. And they're calling it like the millennial, illness and this, that, and the other. And the one thing I can think, because a lot of them did a lot of sports and stuff, they eat a lot of fast food. A lot of fast food. They seem to spend an inordinate amounts of time going to school, getting breakfast in a fast food place, going to practice after school. And I know moms are busy. I mean, but it's also, we feel like we have to do everything. These kids have to participate in 15 different things. It's wild. I didn't grow up in a culture like that in Europe. Anyway, All right. So I guess that's part of the thing. So I just wish good health to everybody for Valentine's. I mean, I'm being serious. If you really want to keep your way out the doctor's office. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've got a little super. Well, thank you, Miss Nancy Jennings. She is changing her self-image to try and counter the upcoming job. Yeah. And yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, super Miss Nancy. I like the little cat. That's so cute. Thank you so much. I need to get a little sound. I should get a little sound, or obviously there's Salty Barbie come out. Something. I don't know. Look, you can tell what type of child I was. I can't even take this thing out the packaging. What's that say? Foodie wiping her food all over herself. Oh, and there's rumors that Julia's not even in the room. That's awesome. All right. If I feel like I need to put my medical hat on today, because we're about to jump into Miss Foodie's other stuff. You've never had Chick-fil-A? Good. Keep away from it. They're expensive nowadays, and they aren't. Their food is not anything that's gonna. I wouldn't even eat it in a pinch. I would just take a banana with me and some nuts in a bag. I mean, I do take, okay, I will let you know when I go anywhere in my car just to even run an errand. If I think the errand's going to be more than an hour, I will ensure that I have brought some water with me and maybe a little snack of nuts, a little something, because I know I'm gonna want to have something to eat. I know it. But I have a little measured portion. I don't bring the whole bag. I measure it out, probably put it in a Tupperware because I don't like to just, waste plastic and stuff. I'm very conscientious of these things. My friends always think I'm insane. Have you seen how many plastic containers I've saved over the time? All right, in this mukbang, what we got to see here. She mentions, I tell you, Canada, though, you have that pretend, and that stuff is. I've had a vegan version of it at a local restaurant, and it's good, but I have it once a year. There's stuff that will get you in trouble. Don't get me wrong. I saw the effects of pizza when I was studying for my bachelor's of science in nursing, and was eating, pizza because it was cheap. And I could get it online and order it from Pizza Hut and bring it home and eat. I didn't eat the whole thing. I literally ate a couple of slices in a day. But, I started to put weight on. I was sitting and eating. I was like, whoa. Promise you, if I eat pizza now, there's a really good local bakery by my home that will make a sourdough crusted pizza. And I can actually order it ahead of time. I'm a little late today. And if I order by noon, they'll do what's known as a half sheet. And it's not, I promise you, it's the same price as ordering a really bad pizza from a fast food pizza place. And this is like all homemade, all fresh vegetables, locally grown in my state. It's just really good. I tell you, like the half sheet, it's huge. They charge me like $20. It's wild because they'll charge me $20 for nonsense at Domino's. And this is so much better. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's like all homemade sauce. So if I want to do pizza, it's no cheese though. It's just the sauce, and then they do all these flavored vegetables, and it's usually got garlic and So I just savor the flavors because I think cheese just takes every flavor out. It just doesn't taste like cheese. And when you see the oil, it just goes into the arteries at the end of the day. I always say enjoy it, but I wouldn't make it on the regular. That's the problem. Most people don't just eat these things on occasion. And younger people are definitely more prone to be eating these diets than some of us probably in this chat today. Most of us that are in this chat today are here because we care about our health, or we care about this person not causing nonsense out in the public. Anyway, all right. Team Cyclone, hey, look, I'm crazy when I don't eat fast food. I need to know what I'm eating. I can promise you, if you want to keep, lining the pockets of the American healthcare system, Keep eating some of the foods. I mean, have a little bit, but really do be aware that it, some of these things with our colons and stuff, it is because we are eating so much more processed food. I am in full thoughts and have read the research behind it that I have studied for school. So it's not that it's a conspiracy theory. It is unfortunately because you can't be eating it. Nobody was meant to. And the fast food companies, obviously, they've taken advantage of it because they're a business. They're going to make money. They're huge. They're massive. They own so many other things. Since McDonald's is like a little chain thing. That's like a massive, global corporation that owns multiple brands. Or any of these, KFC comes under as an umbrella with multiple brands, and they don't care about your health. They absolutely do not care about your health. The only thing they care about is having people addicted to the food because they know exactly how much sugar and how much salt to add to the menu and to add to the ingredients in order for people to want to crave it. And that's what's the craving. It's what people want to keep going back and back and back and back. And they play on that. Anyway, I'll just let you know. I'm enjoying some sparkling water today. It is a black cherry vanilla. All right, guys, let's get into foodie. All right, that's on my soapbox. Yeah, I use a calorie counter. Good. I'm so glad. Yes, if you feel that you don't have the control of your portions, and I don't think that it's not about shaming people, but we do need to try to educate people as well. I just don't. I feel the era of shame is not about shame. I am not shaming Foodie, but I am concerned that she is a type 2 diabetic and she is out here trying to show people, her healthy food. And this is something called koshari. And I don't know much about what these dishes are. So let's find out real fast, guys, together. I'm not familiar with these two dishes. One looked very carby. Okay. That's just Foodie coming up. Okay. Okay. Let me bring this onto the stage. Okay, just so we kind of know. And if you guys know in the chat, put it in there too. Is anybody familiar with these dishes? Is anybody creating more patients for the profit medical industry is a win-win for fast food corporations. They are working hand in hand. Yeah, I mean, doctors and nurses like myself, we do genuinely care that these patients do not come back to the hospital. But we are given such little time to actually interact with patients to do any educating. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I want to be here more than anything else, because we have to go through such enormous amounts of patients. And hopefully I can start to build a platform that becomes big enough that can sustain me as a community nurse here in a larger sphere, because I don't feel that sometimes people always say, why wouldn't you want to be in a hospital? Because sometimes maybe I don't get to educate enough people in the hospital. And that to me is a concern. And we have to see so many people due to the constraints. And I do have concerns about privatization, especially, and I don't want to get too US centric here because we have so many people from around the globe. But there are private equity firms purchasing doctors' practices and other types of specialty practices. And they are the ones who are setting things for the patients, not the physicians. We have no control. We don't have control over the pricing. We are told what codes we can bill with. We bill under those codes. We ensure that we just are making sure that we have all the things that you as the patients have in order to actually get your claim through to insurance. So most of the time, we learn what insurance is looking for because we don't want you denied. We want to make sure you're getting the care that you need from all aspects in the healthcare system. But we have so many constraints. The appointments are short because we're told literally you have 15 minutes. And so people, wanting to come in with lots of questions, which I always encourage patients, if you have online apps and you're able to communicate with your providers, they are often better to be communicated on those apps, sending questions, than calling the office. Then you also have actual documentation that you have tried to contact them. Because if you're just leaving a phone call and it's on a voicemail, that is not documentation that you're trying to contact that office. Whereas if you're actually contacting on an app, it is going to record that you have tried to find out about your medication. And it may be somebody else within the company or healthcare company that responds and lets you know what to do. Or talk to your pharmacist. Okay. All right, everybody. That's just some tips for me today. All right, let's get into Foodie's carb load. I just want people to remember this is 3 days that this young lady has put these meals out. I mean, 3 or 4 now. I've almost lost count. Keto, yes. There is certain ways that if you manage it, but you have to be very cautious. You must let your doctors know, especially if you have any other like cardiac problems or anything. You need to keep away from a keto diet. So the heart is going to trump out everything else. And the keto diet has no benefit to the heart. So your cardiologist is going to be real upset. I'm just going to let you guys know. Be careful of these fad diets. That's a whole trend that, to be honest, when I let one of my doctors know a patient was on keto, he said to me, who put them on that diet? He was quite upset. So just have a conversation. Just don't go wild. This is why I'm here. Is because these people often sell products. This whole keto thing started with some guy sticking butter into coffee, and he made a huge living off of it, and he was not a healthcare professional. The only thing that he cared was to monetize off of people who want quick fixes because they don't feel good. So just be cautious, okay? I've actually had to manage patients with seizures and neurological disorders on keto diets under a registered dietitian. So I talk about this with experience. So I'm very, cautious about that. Yeah, a lot of people, but you have to be careful with that high fat, because that fat is just going to go into your arteries, people. And that's going to lead to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, or it could potentially lead to colon cancer. So I would just suggest you have a diet that's more to a Mediterranean style, and you talk to a registered dietitian before you start listening to people who talk about being health and wellness experts. And I think cheekbones is actually, a lot of people say that. It's not, though. That's actually not true, unfortunately, Chris. Yeah, but that's not the case. We do suggest a low carb, low cholesterol diet for diabetics, but we do not suggest what's known as a keto diet. So just be careful, okay? That's why I'm here to debunk this stuff, okay? Yeah. You went vegan, my cholesterol went down, my blood pressure, my kidneys improved, and my diabetes. Yes, well, I'm also a plant-based person too. But I always say you need to be obviously having lab work drawn. Your healthcare provider needs to know. Otherwise, my recommendation, if you're not at a place where you are following with a doctor or getting blood work or doing those things, to follow a Mediterranean style diet. Don't go for any of these fad diets, and certainly don't buy a bunch of packeted stuff trying to tell you this is the best nutrition out there. Best nutrition out there is going to be sitting in the fruit and veg aisles. But they don't have a big, branding campaign. So they're not the ones going in your face, and they don't make cute TikToks. So just be cautious, okay? It's low cholesterol, low fat for certain diabetics. It can be low sodium for certain types of cardiac conditions. And most times for cardiac conditions, it's a Mediterranean style diet, unless they're diabetic. And if they don't have their diabetes well managed, it's the low cholesterol, low fat. So adding a keto diet and having all these bacon and all that, is very far from the low fat, unfortunately. So just be careful, okay? So just be cautious. Yeah. Yes, they end up. Yes. It's not great. You've been on strict keto to yes. Okay. So yes, this is different though. With somebody with a neurological condition is to do with epilepsy. Absolutely. So this is why I say these are diets, not fad. Oh, it's a fad. Oh, it's a fad diet. I'm saying fad. 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 Keto, obviously, yes. The doctor, yes. The keto thing, people, honestly, I need to was in that madness. Nobody in the medical community, unless you have seizures, or like I said, I worked with a seizure patient after a massive motor vehicle crash for an extended period of time, young person. She was on a, I had to make her a specific diet to put her into ketosis for the seizures. But these are medically managed diets. These are not diets that the general public should just be out there doing, things that are not just a balanced meal. That's what most people need to, portion control, balanced meals, light activity. It's not sexy. It's not, grammable. It's not TikTokable, but it's the stuff that genuinely is going to keep people healthy. Unless you've been advised otherwise by a healthcare provider. That's what I always want to say. Unless you've spoken to somebody, because there's so much that, I always want to show people the size of my pathology book so you just can understand the complexities of the human body, and that most of the people who are out there selling these wellness trends to you have no medical licensure to do so. They're just catching on a trend, and they can get people swept up in it, and they know they can make your money because people are desperate to get healthy, to lose weight, to feel better, to sleep better. They want to know what the answers are. And I think but we're strict, we have limited time. But I'm going to show what the answer isn't. And it's the stuff that what does your Santiago say? Oh, just do keto. Yeah. I feel the same. I understand. The only fad my doc said I could try perhaps intermittent fasting, but he's strongly on the DASH Mediterranean. Right, exactly. The DASH diet. That is the other one. If anybody wants to take the time to look at my type 2 diabetes little film I made, it's like 12 minutes long. I go into the management and, the risk factors and things that you should do then as a diabetic, as a type 2. So it's specifically made for type 2 diabetics. I would suggest that you take a quick peek, see. It's quick. It's just meant to be informative. It's all research. It's cited. So it's not anything fad. It's not going to be, and that's why, I probably got 200 views on it. It's not any, and I'm not in it. It's just a PowerPoint that I talk over and explain the differences and the things that, would happen. So just, yeah, exactly. And I really want to do that. Yes, you have to, exactly. You have to be following with a doctor and having lab work and making sure that you really understand your nutrition. I would not recommend the vegan diet for people who don't know a lot about health and taking care of them and who aren't seeing a provider regularly. I would not necessarily. And I'm a strong advocate for my plant-based diet. But I would not say that I would jump everybody, because I think that should be under. What I would recommend, though, as a registered nurse, for the benefits of most people to gain good health, if you don't have any underlying medical conditions and are being followed by a doctor and being prescribed a specific diet, would be the Mediterranean style diet. That would be my recommendation. All right, let's take a look at what this koshery and this other thing is. Okay, so this mahalabia, and I'm sorry if I really ruined that, is, oh, great. It's a milk pudding dessert she's going to have here. Oh, one, it's both heavy on milk and cream. So she's going to be eating pastries, basically. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. So let's see this koshari. So it looks like Foodie trying to be on a veggie kick here. We'll see if hers includes any type of meat in it. But the traditional recipe, let me see. Oh, let me get to a site. Let me see. Okay, let's see. This is a dish from Egypt. Okay, let's take a look. Is everyone seeing this on my film with me? Great. All right. Okay. All righty. If you like this type of content, like to have time spending time with the registered nurse, it gets real preachy about food sometimes. I just want people to be healthy. That's all. People always want to know how's your hair look so good? How do you stay so healthy? How do you stay young and vibrant? I'll tell you what the secret's been. Never liked fast food in my whole life. Never ate really a lot of meat, but that's my specific things. I think there's certain types of meat and fishes that are very good for you. I happen to like tofu. I never liked meat as a kid, so that was just always been me. Okay. So I hated chicken. Chicken was like the food I hated. I did not like chicken at all. So I love shrimp and fish. So that was difficult to give up. But I'm not trying to push these types of diets. But I don't think the type of diet that, I would always say enjoy these foods, but these things sometimes eaten daily, it probably isn't good for you. And I can let you know that certain cultures around the globe, they also have their medical conditions that come from the diets they eat because they contain a lot of salt and stuff. So they're not escaping it either. Necessarily. Salt is wild around the globe, guys. Anyway, we discovered it. We used it as a preservative, and we got that taste for it, and all of that good stuff. Okay, what is this stuff? Okay, oh, here it is. Okay, so kashari is Egypt's national dish. Well, that's interesting. It is popularly found on the streets and served in courts and restaurants. It is a layering of, oh, great. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. It's just so many carbs I'm about to read. Just hold on, guys. Rice, macaroni, lentils, and chickpeas. And you're going to see the size of this container. Topped with tomato sauce, garlic, vinegar, and fried onions. It is one of the cheapest and most filling meals in Egypt. Sounds delicious. Sounds like a lot of carb in that. I don't think Foodie is going to burn that off with an hour run or anything. She's not out doing any exercise to burn any of this off. That's the other problem. She was, Travis Kelce out here going to the Super Bowl, then maybe she could get a bowl of kashari. But she's not. Or even Taylor prior to her going on stage for a concert. Which might be a little full for the belly, maybe after, if it's not too late at night. But for Foodie to be sitting there, just sitting there like a oh, anyway. Oh my gosh. Are you guys getting ready? Are you all ready? I hope I haven't missed anything in the chat. If I missed anything in the chat that I need to be looking at, have I missed anything interesting in the chat? I know we got into a whole diet thing. I know. And I think my biggest takeaway always is I'm obviously not your health, I am a healthcare provider. And what I'm always going to recommend is what I think is the healthiest. And I do a lot of reading and I don't tend to follow fads. Vegan thing, like I said, that's kind of particular to me. Might be the fattiest thing that I kind of seem to do. But a lot of people that study nutrition and study cardiovascular health and in medicine often go to that diet. So there's obviously a reason why we choose that diet. So just kind of think about that sometimes, The ones that get the biggest hype are going to be people saying the most outrageous things, though. Remember that, guys. All right, let's get into Miss Foodies. Oh, can we just skip the cameo? Would anybody have a problem if we skip the cameo? We have a problem skipping Foodie's cameo. And I'm going to let you know, I am going to show, show her at a faster speed because she's such a slow talker. All right, let's just break this down. Why this isn't a good idea today for this young lady. Oh, I have so many if she's the thing is that she's getting close to 40 and she's not really a very active person. She comes from making these live streams to making her, mukbang videos. So basically what I think she's doing, and let me bring her to the stage, is she is starting to, this is Foodie's day. So she's already giving us a vlog. So all of her audience who's been asking for her to do a daily vlog, she's already doing it for us, guys, because we've got Foodie's day here. She gets up, she looks terrible. She's not going outside and running any errands. She's having food ordered. Because remember, she said that the thing that she looked forward to the most when she was going to be down and bedbound and so forth was being able to lie around and order food to the house. And I don't think it was just for a few days. I think every meal that she has been showing us is not a meal that she has prepared. It is a meal coming from a restaurant. And if anybody knows, if you're regularly getting meals coming from a restaurant, we share getting meals coming from a restaurant, then you are going to be not in control of the amount of salt or what is happening in the meal. Obviously, we all love to go out and eat at restaurants, but it does, I think, become problematic if it's so frequent that you don't know what's really going into your food. Because you don't, usually why the food is so good is because they're going to season it with salt. She said how much salt these chefs throw into food sometimes. They often aren't worried about your health unless they're specifically about doing food for health. They're doing food for flavor. So remember that, okay? So try to, these are the things I think we have to kind of logically think through, because it is the food and what we choosing to eat, I think and the lack of activity we have is causing our biggest health problems. We can talk about all sorts of bizarre conspiracy theories out there, but the only conspiracy is what we do to ourselves at the end of the day and the choices that we make. That's the conspiracy. And nobody wants to think that they're responsible. And Foodie is the person who takes the least amount of responsibility in her life. All right, let's go with this nonsense. All right, let me try to see where this cameo comes to an end. I love the cameo.
Tell someone a personalized video from me on Cameo. Get yours now and don't delay. Make Valentine's Day a special day.
Well, hello guys. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. So today I am eating it's like lunchtime. So I'm having koshery and I thought I would share with you. I'm having Egyptian food, not just koshery, but I'm having koshery as the main. And then I have a sausage sandwich of sorts.
You see, guys? I'm sorry, I'm going to stop her straight away. We got to talk about this before she even starts to put away all this plastic that she's wasting. That's the other thing. Foodie is so bad for the planet. I'm going to share the screen with her when I come up. Foodie is so bad for the planet. She is so bad for the planet. Anyway, let me bring her back up again. I don't know what to say. That's probably meant to be for more than one person. That looks like the large portion was ordered. She thought if she was eating, I thought she was going to say, I'm eating for two. Well, Salah there, obviously. Nobody believes Salah is there, girl. Nobody. Look, she looks terrible. Oh, she don't look good, man. She's got the fallen face still going. She's got more black. The reason to obviously always wear black, we know why. Every lady knows why we wear black, Foodie. It's because it makes you look more slim. Oh, your boyfriend's buying you a Foodie cameo. He wants to dump you. I would dump him for spending money with Foodie. I would never want to give money to Foodie. He's just jealous because he probably thinks you like Foodie more than him. What's my chat doing? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yes, I'm trying to come out of the chat. Okay, let me stop the chat. Well, who did I highlight last time? Okay, let me hide. Okay, there we go. All right. I can hide. Do you want me to hide me? Because I can fully give, I don't think I can give Chantel the full stage unless I remove myself. Hold on. Let me remove myself. Okay, I'm gonna have to add myself to the stage then. It doesn't? I thought I was. Guys, you gotta keep me here in the corner. I'm afraid I'm hiding the bread. You know I don't want her getting that bread. I gotta hide it from her. So unfortunately, we did get a peek-see of the bread though. And hopefully most of it. Because otherwise my stream is telling me, no bib. Well, May, she's got no bib, no napkins. I need a napkin on my emojis too. I have a whole list of emojis already. Napkins, sad pancreas, bread, and there was one other thing. I gotta start writing these down. Oh no, we lost life. No, I'm back. I was trying to highlight her bread, and she'll use the bread as a napkin. Well, I don't know about that, Pam. All right, let me hide the chat so we can keep seeing Foodie. Okay. She's going to explain what all this is, but we just kind of went over what that meal is because unlike Foodie, I actually going to take the time to try to find out a little bit more about what this meal is. I'm interested, Now I'm curious to try it because it's like a vegan thing. So now I want to find a restaurant in town that sells this because that sounded good. I might have to let Foodie run in a minute while I go grab my peanuts and popcorn. But yeah, let's just take a look at what she got here. That must be the macaroni and the rice in here that they spoke about. We'll see what she says is in here. It's got the white bread. That's obviously a no. We know that's a no for her specifically because she's not managed. She's not following up with the doctor really. She keeps talking about this clinic in Kuwait she's going to. Maybe she is going to see somebody for her diabetes. I don't think so, girl. I don't know. Because I don't think if anybody was seeing you at a clinic would be telling you this is what you should be eating as a diabetic. Especially if you've just been diagnosed recently and you've shown no ability to have any control with the medication you've been prescribed. And you have literally stopped showing your blood sugars live. For a while, you were trying to, do the con thing that you were working on the diabetes and working on the blood sugars. But that's disappeared, I've noticed. You don't talk about the blood sugars because you were trying to convince people that your high blood sugars were good. Everybody was explaining to people that you could not be on a platform saying that you're on a diabetic health journey and misleading diabetics. I take that personal, girl, because I lost my grandma to a diabetic stroke, man. So the diabetes I take personally because I lost family to it and cardiac. Take these things personal. So you misleading people with diabetes is shameful. because it can do this. Is the illness can actually do a lot of harm to people. People lose limbs. All right, this makes me mad. Anyway, sorry. I don't mean. I'm supposed to be funny. Sometimes I don't feel funny when these people are like this. Sorry. I would say it seriously because it's almost a way to say it really is serious. It's not something to ever be taken lightly. And her pancreas is not going to be able to manage this food. Not the way that I see this person continuously eat. It just cannot do it. It's just the medications alone never do it. It's just, anyway. All right. Blah. I need to get more fun. Let's get back to the fun. All right. She's got rice and macaroni in here, which is, can't even. I don't even know what the size is, because if I really knew what the size of these bowls were, I probably, there's somebody who's a dietitian. If I knew, there's a very easy way to convert, obviously, these ounces to grams to carbs. It's not, there's so many apps online that you could just go in and probably type in how many cups of rice, how many this in a meal, and it will tell you exactly how many carbs and therefore how many sugars that you're going to be intaking. It's very easy because I used to calculate carbs all the time for people when they were at the hospital for their meals, so I could do insulin coverage. God, just look at all this white. Just this is probably pretty good over here. I mean, the stew itself, but if it's got the lentils, I love lentils. She has got to be very cautious, though. Again, this is not. It's just all of these, and then she's got something over here. Sauces. I mean, the sauces, you have to be very cautious because you don't know if they're adding sodium in there to help enhance the flavors. There's all sorts of things that are hidden in these little sauce things. And she looks bloated. I mean, she just does it. And like I was saying, Lady Black, we all know that's a slimming color for us. So she's trying to slim here in black. You watch her when she starts to eat. I thought about all sorts of things after I was sort of catching up some other people's lives and streams yesterday. And just, how she kind of gets the food in and to the back of the mouth a little bit to not trigger the sort of the mechanisms to say, hey, cut the eating out, girl. You need to stop eating. Yes, I think it's meant to be a shared dish. Oh, I'm sure. But she's no one to share it with. So, yeah, I was going back to rice macaroni. That's a lot of carb. Absolutely. And then, yeah, she could bulk up with veggies. Veggies, yes. I mean, this is supposed to be a meal that's supposed to be obviously meant for somebody with not a lot of, money. It's still got a lot of healthy with the lentils and the, garbanzo beans and the tomato and the onion and this pot here, a small portion as a stew, maybe. Maybe if you wanted to eat some whole grains with that and some broccoli, maybe would be something, some spiraled vegetables, and then use that as a little tiny bit of a topper would probably be quite delicious. If you're somebody who's extremely active and you're about to go out and run 10 miles, you might be able to have a little tiny bit of that there, but just watch the white stuff. This is a lot of sugar that your body has to convert in your system. And your pancreas needs to send out enough insulin to take all this sugary carb and turn that into energy in your cells. And if it's not finding that it's got a place, because you're not burning energy, because Foodie is just going to roll off this chair and go blank on the couch because she's going to take her face off and she's going to lie on the couch and just start, smoking the pipe thing that she smokes, and you can hear her in the background taking puffs on throughout her live streams. And that's what she's going to do for the day. And so she is not going to actually have enough activity throughout her day in order to help her burn the energy up to actually do anything with this food. So this food is just going to turn to fat. That's it. And then she's on top of it not managed her blood sugars. So she's going to be hypoglycemic, which leads to polyuria, polydipsia, and polyphagia. And she just demonstrates all times all three of these. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. I mean, carbs are cheap. It looks delicious. I'm not saying it doesn't look good. It's portion control. Times to eat it. And maybe depending on what you have happening in your life, this might not be a good plan for you. You might have to make another decision about what you decide to use as your base. Because we can't keep basing this as the base of all foods. Because this, for most people, you are not going to be burning enough glucose in your system and having to bring that into your muscle cells. And so your insulin goes down to your cells and says different types of organs too. But, the one we think about is our muscles primarily. But it goes to the liver, it goes to the adipose tissue, it goes to different places. But the insulin is used to open up those cells, bring that sugar into the cells, and convert it into energy in order to do activity. And if you are not an active person, which she is not, then it has to go somewhere else. And after a while, your pancreas just cannot keep up with it. So that's where people end up becoming diabetic. And they usually go in with really high blood sugars, like hemoglobin A1C by the time we see people. And they've probably been having polyuria, polydipsia, and polyphagia happening for some time before they've even seen a doctor. But people then usually think of these things and they equate it to something else. Polydipsia means like you're constantly thirsty and wanting to grab something to drink. And that's hallmark for hyperglycemia. Polyphagia, because you're not really being able to bring that sugar into your cells and convert it into energy because your pancreas is not being able to release the sufficient amounts of insulin to be able to manage that blood sugar. So you're not really getting the energy, even though you're eating the food. That's where the polyphagia comes in. That's where you want to eat a lot. And that's probably where Foodie's at too. And then the polyuria is where you have to urinate all the time. And Foodie, if anybody is listening to her live streams, which, oh God, they're terrible. But if you're listening to other creators who actually condense them, I think it was Unicorn Pondu who pointed out that she keeps having to leave her stream and go somewhere. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she's not needing to urinate, because that's going to be along with the hypoglycemia. So she's demonstrating all of the hallmarks of somebody in hypoglycemia. Just to say. All right. Yeah, the gallbladder, the cancers, the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is coming because of that blood sugar having to go, is not getting used up enough out of the liver, because the blood sugar also gets stored into the liver to be able to give you kind of, if you want, a basal rate of energy while you're sleeping and so forth at night. It's releasing a little bit of that glucagon into your system. But she got all that blood sugar already rolling. It doesn't have insulin. It doesn't have anywhere to go. So now she literally, has built up fat in her liver. That's what's going on with food. And then she's out here eating this stuff. She's out there trying to tell people she's a motivation and lifestyle coach. Are you serious? I don't even go out there and brand myself like that. And I promise you, I could guide way more people through a healthcare journey, but I think I'm going to reach more people on this platform at the end of the day than you, Foodie, any day of the week. I would love to debate you about health on a stage. I would take you on. I would bring you onto my platform, and I would love to debate you about health and wellness. That's an actual challenge to you, Chantel Marie, Foodie Beauty, Mariam, Everyday Mariam, whoever you want to go to by now. I will challenge you to explain to me and your audience how what you are doing is helpful for your diabetes. Yeah, she looks swollen. And I would take her on. You paid to see that? Well, I need to get paid. So I would, okay. I would love to do that. I would do it for pay-per-view. But I would like to take a lot of these people on when they're talking about health and wellness. She's motivational lifestyle couch. Absolutely. Okay, let's get back to this food. We discussed this. Let's let her go. I've already gotten salty.
Pistachios and stuff, and they didn't.
Thank God,
Okay, so Bismillah. Let's open this. So those of you who don't know, koshery is like a carb hater's nightmare. There is chickpeas, pasta. They have put brown rice, lentils, vermicelli. You see that underneath. And you put a tomato sauce on it. So let's do that now. Yum. Mm. Whoa, overflow much, overflow. Okay, so you mix in the tomato sauce very carefully. Then you add these crispy onions. Whoa, I'm gonna add a little bit at a time because this is really messy.
I'm sorry, I have to add meat back to the stage.
And
so my face is horrible.
this garlic oil stuff is so good. I'm gonna add that on, this stuff here. Yeah.
Sorry, that's ridiculous.
Mm.
Yum.
All right.
Yeah.
I have to do laundry today anyways, so.
Well,
And then this hot sauce, I want to see how hot it is before I just.
wow. I just cannot believe the lack of portion control here, guys. Look at the lack of portion control. And she'll eat about half.
All right, let's go in for some of this.
Yeah, I don't mind carbs. I love a piece of sourdough bread. Don't get me wrong. But I have to think too, like, anyway.
Mm.
Oh my God, did she just drop food and then pick it up?
The tomato sauce is like.
Did I just see that? Did she really do that in front of me? A grown woman. Come on, girl, you're on camera. Do you remember you're on camera? Let me see. Did she just do those? I need to see. Sorry, guys. I want to see if she really did drop something and then put it in her mouth. All right, we're going to have to go back. I got to see this just in case.
Yum. Mm.
No, it just fell on the table and she picked it up and ate it. Oh, okay.
The tomato sauce has like garlic seasonings. It tastes like to me.
Acid reflux.
It's really yummy. Oh man, I love koshery. I forgot how it tasted since the last time I had it. Mm.
Last time you had it, what was that? Last week?
Let's try the sandwich.
Is she everyday Mariam?
I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
Every other day Mariam? She's on the bread.
So I just want to like clarify something.
Why does she need bread with it? All right, hold on. I'm gonna let her talk while she talks into her like clarification of what she's going on. But you don't need the bread with all that white stuff already there, Foodie. I'm bringing out my flowers for your pancreas again. Okay, let her talk about what she's going on with. Let her talk for me.
I'm not so ignorant as to not be aware of the fact that my past self is very different from this one. And in my past self, I didn't care what I put out online because I was very open and just like, I didn't care. Like I was just like, I didn't think of like, someday maybe I'll feel differently about how I project myself online. I know that once something's on the internet, it's pretty much forever. But I don't, it doesn't really bug me. Like, I didn't make this change to my channel to run away or avoid, like, basically escape my past online reputation. It's something I'll always have to live with. Luckily for me, the only person I'll be needing to be accountable to is God. And God is merciful and forgiving. I'm doing it just because, for me, the Foodie Beauty I was is gone.
No, ma'am, you're not gone. You're still here. Still here doing the same nonsense, the same type of rebrand, the same cycle Chantel Marie out again. Now you're just trying to, use religion. That's a new one for you to hide behind. It's terrible. I know other people say that you shouldn't question somebody's relationship with God, and I can appreciate that. But, I'm loose in the Church of England. And I have just, I think that most people who are genuinely devoutly religious are not necessarily always trying to use it as a shield like this young lady is. This I think she did not enter the religion. I just feel it's a con. I think she's trying to con people. I don't think that she's made any change. You know how? Because she acted just like her regular old self the minute she set foot in Canada. If she really was somebody who had genuinely started to make changes, she's had a year in Kuwait. And she literally is here trying to say that, she should be, just making every excuse for her past. And she's not anybody who's changed or developed. And now she's trying to do what the grifters always do. They try to find the new thing. Because she was trying to hide behind the health stuff, guys. She didn't want anybody to come after her because she was lying on the couch with the sciatica. But there's only but so far I felt that she wanted to, she could be able to continue that, because at some point she's going to have to get that visa run out there. And I also wonder, Chantel, and this was something I was thinking about today, and I'm not a tax expert, but I have paid taxes in multiple countries throughout my lifetime when I worked. And I know that you pay taxes to Canada, but I understand you actually owe Canada a fair amount of taxes, like maybe $30,000 in taxes. And I don't know if it's like in the UK, but if you owed £30,000 or the equivalent of whatever pounds to Canadian dollars to the UK government, you'd be in jail, girl. They'd be coming after you. Okay. And in the United States, if you start to owe quantities of money like that, you go to jail. Tax evasion is something you get in serious trouble for. And this moment in time, girl, you're a tax evader from the Canadian government because you went to Canada and you did not pay your taxes. And I don't think that you're taking any of the correct legal steps to try to resolve it because you're sloppy and messy with your life. So you're a tax dodge con artist. And you're running around, and now you're trying to use you found yourself, you both catfished each other to get what you want. He's not in the picture, girl. He's not showing up for anything for you. He don't want to be shown anymore with you. Or you don't want him to be seen. One of the two. I think it's mutual probably on both sides. So he probably wants to be out because he probably likes to get more famous. He don't, get some money online. But you, girl, you're wild. You look swollen. You don't look good. You can get all this big talky game going on, but I know how your body must be feeling. And it must feel like garbage. That's why you can't go out. I'd be surprised. I haven't seen her out in days, man. She got a lot of common with scammers. Well, take the case. She is a scammer. That's why. Totally agree with you. She's just this is part of what's so bad. She still owes the Canadian government tens of thousands of dollars, I think, in back owed taxes. That's I pay taxes here in the United States, in Mexico, in the UK. It doesn't always feel fair. I just did my taxes online yesterday. Hey, give you a tip in the United States. If you make under $100,000, you have a simple file, go to TaxSlayer. I think you can get both state and federal for free because I don't think they charged me anything when I e-filed yesterday with them. They say anybody under $100,000 in income, just as a heads up. Okay. I'm not sponsored by TaxSlayer, but I just discovered that and did my taxes. And so far, you know, I just did a simple file. So if anyone needs to do that, just give you heads up. There, or I double check the company. Like I said, I'm not sponsored, but just save money. You know, H&R Block and all. Yeah, TaxSlayer. Absolutely, TaxSlayer. That's the company's name. And because the other companies all offer, you know, free online, but the IRS offers that to everybody. But this specific company said, and if, as long as you say no to all the extra products that they offer you, like paying you early on your stuff, and you just choose e-file and the direct debit options from the company, I just had my stuff filed off immediately. So I'm just waiting to see if, you know, the IRS and my state accept it. And I didn't get charged a penny by this company. And I set up the direct debits with the other two. So yeah, they haven't charged me a penny. So yeah. So if you have a simple one, and I think they're pretty competitively priced. And I think there's like, if you go, you know, look for always a discount coupon before you do anything online. I always spend at least like 5 or 10 minutes trying to make sure there isn't a coupon for something. You always save money. I promise you. It's worth the time. Anyway, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. So far they're all secured, and yeah. So yeah, I did a little bit of research because I think, you know, the other, you know, I'm sick of the other companies. I looked for one that, you know, would, because I think the government was saying 79,000 like on the H&R Block, but I happened to find one that just said this 100,000 threshold for both state and federal. Anyway, all right. I don't want to make it too US centric. Okay, let's get back to Foodie's Con. I'll try to make it funnier.
And people can rush and take the handle, the Foodie Beauty handle. You're still not going to be Foodie Beauty, so what does it matter?
She's so peed up. Oh, I gotta laugh about that one. Because she is mad. She is just tanking around. Oh, you love my show? Well, thank you. I'm gonna try to figure out ways to get people. I'm gonna try to improve. I'm gonna get a stream chat. Honestly, guys, this is a work in progress. I love streaming, so I'm gonna figure out how to become a better streamer because I know there's an art to it. So, and it's also about the type of equipment and the type of subjects that you choose to speak. And I just have not really found, for me as a medical professional, or just a really good channel with medical, you know, that isn't one of these bros that really, they don't have the right medical backgrounds. I promise you. Anytime with Tom Bilyeu or any of those, just, it's wild. That's the Quest bar guy. He's terrible. Don't buy those Quest bars, people. It's just garbage. Garbage. Just take a piece of fruit. So simple. I know it's hard, but take that 5 seconds that you would use to run into the gas station and buy the Quest bar. Use that time to just grab something like fresh in the house and just bring it in a cooler bag. They got the ones that are like the freezer types. Honestly, it really is. Sometimes I know we all say we're rushed, but then we all have time. I see people that spend 20 minutes in line for a Starbucks. You're not in that much of a rush if you got 20 minutes for Starbucks line. That's what I'm just saying. I don't care if people get Starbucks on occasion. I'm just saying, if you're like wanting to get healthy, it's probably sometimes not the best options. That's a treat. I don't mind treats. I love a treat. Okay. She's going to eat this whole thing. All right, let's keep telling her what she's talking about. Here, she said she's not her past self. She knows how she projected herself online. She can't run away or avoid or escape online reputation, but only, here she goes, only God can, you know, be the one who can, you know, judge her for anything she does, which is why I think she's hiding now under religion. And I hate when people go to those links. I really do. Because I know we're not supposed to, because they know we're not supposed to question it if you're a good person. And I'm okay not being the good person. How about that? I could be not the good person and call you out for it. Call you out for this nonsense. I know you're not, I know I'm not, but I have a different feeling.
Foodie Beauty is only someone I could be.
Sorry.
For my cameos, I'm just going to keep it Foodie Beauty. I could change the name, but whatever.
Ah, well, that means
So if you want a cameo from
you
Foodie
that
Beauty, you can
stuff.
still get one.
That's not what they want. They don't want Miriam cameos. They want Foodie
I love
Beauty
leggings.
cameos. I'm sorry.
But who I was when I started Foodie Beauty and who I am now, very different people. Very different.
Does anybody think that she's a different person than she was from 3 days ago? Anybody? It says you're professional. How long do you think she has before she starts with? Oh, she's already got serious signs, Chris, of the diabetes. I'll show that real fast. She already has quick sign. She already has polyuria, polydipsia, polyphagia. She's already got raging high blood sugars. Oh, she's showing signs. Her lack of activity, the truncal obesity, those are all signs of type 2 diabetes, mellitus, raging on. So she's already got it going. She's really serious effects. I have not heard about what happened to that toe she hit. So I'm not sure if she's not getting to a place, and she keeps talking about going to the clinic and all this and the hobble. I wouldn't be surprised if she's not lost that toe. But she's not going to come online and tell people that she's had to have an amputation of a toe. She's not going to tell people about that. And she's been in that clinic, supposedly in that wheelchair, and with shots of vitamin B12, and supposedly doing all these things. I almost wonder if she got that toe amputated. And that's why we haven't seen her walking out. And that's why she was hobbling. And that's why she don't look good. Because I don't believe a lot of what she says. What her BMI is? Oh, shoot. She's morbidly obese. We don't know. We can't get a true reading because we don't really know what her weight is. Because she lies about that. She's not whatever the weight is that she says she is. That's an absolute lie. Absolute lie. Looking at her, knowing her height, that's not her weight at all. No, not her weight. Okay. Oh, let me try to keep it funny. Because I get real serious sometimes. But yeah, she is already demonstrating bad signs. Okay. She's masking it, and she can do that easily on a camera. When you've got the filters going, and she's, like I said, she has not been very active. I don't think we will see Foodie Beauty until she needs to do her visa run in April. That will be the next time. She may get herself outside, or maybe we see pictures of her outside the clinic. But we haven't even seen her being like pushed in the wheelchair outside the clinic. There's no footage of her moving in the wheelchair, if I am correct. Okay, let's keep going. She lies.
And yeah. So I didn't make these changes to, people. I've seen people say changing your YouTube name doesn't change who you are. No, I changed who I am. So I'm changing kind of my channel identity. And you can never escape your past. I'm not trying to.
Yes, you are. That's a perfect pause face for you, girl. Get it in there. Get it in there. Get it in there, Foodie. Get that sugary, carby little mix in there. Looks good. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say it didn't look good. Didn't say it didn't taste good. But the portion, that portion that she has, and remember, she ate that with bread. Now, it may be water that she's having on the side because we gave her such a hard time with the fruit juice that, but she got a fruit juice or something in the kitchen. She just picks and chooses what she's going to bring out. And that's why, for me, she's problematic with the audience. That's why, to me, she's just like a hot mess. Like, girl, we know what you're up to. Okay? And you're not changing at all. Nothing about this gives me any sense that you've made any change whatsoever. I don't think anybody who's watched your content that I've watched respond to this, who followed you for years, thinks that you've made any type of change. This is just the same. It's the same. It's the same. Different name, same day, same stuff. Your personality, your rage, your authentic self are still the same, Foodie. Nothing changed, girl. Nobody feels you've changed. Just saying. Nothing changed.
At all.
Wouldn't you agree,
You know,
Jimbo?
I'm not trying to rewrite history. You know, so for people trying to rub my past in my face, like, you want to be this person now, but how can you be when you were this person? Again, past and the present are very different tenses, time tenses.
Does that mean you suddenly miraculously taken your cat to a vet and had her fixed? Because that would be content.
Every single day is a new day for change, like a new opportunity to improve yourself. And I don't mean improve self-improvement as in like financial gain, you know, going and getting like lip fillers, like physically and stuff like that. I mean like self-improvement, like on a soul level, on a character level.
Oh, Foodie, you've been wanting a glow up for forever, girl. Lip fillers. She's been going on about lip fillers a lot recently. Who's she following on TikTok? Comment down below. She's going on about the lip fillers. Girl, you wouldn't have a glow up. You couldn't get a glow up. You're beyond. You need inpatient care. You need to be on a restricted calorie diet and inpatient care in reality to manage your diabetes, but you don't care about your diabetes. And so I'm just here to remind other diabetics that this probably isn't a very good diet. Continue, Foodie. Continue.
Like, God doesn't care what you look like. Like, he made you, you know? It's not going to impress him how hot you were in this life, how much money you had.
No, Chantel, but those are the two things that you have been most concerned about.
The only thing that's going to matter.
She got rage blinking going on. And then I understand she's been getting the rage pinky out too. So this is simmering Chantel at this point. She's been simmered like those lentils that she's eating. She's no different from her simmered lentils. She is simmering for rage. We know she's about to go on a rage soon because she's gotten her handle got taken. So, and now she's like, oh gosh. And is her whole content going to be somebody who talks about being religious but without studying her religion? Is this what the new content's going to be? She's exhausting, isn't she? She's exhausting. As exhausted as that pancreas of hers. Oh, that must be the dessert. Oh God. Do you think she's gonna like pretend that she only gonna eat half this and put it to the side and then tuck into that creamy milky dessert that it's just gonna finish off her pancreas tonight? Look at this. This is wild. Oh my gosh. All right, Foodie, tell us how you've changed so much. How you're not blah 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 bloop bloop blah blah.
It's how kind we were to people. How devoted we are to the Creator.
Oh God. Oh God. She sounds like a Fundy. I'm sorry if anybody fundamentalist out there, but she's just giving me Fundy vibes. Not, but she.
Did we make a difference somehow? So I'd like to really think of these things for my future, you know?
Can I start calling her like Jim Taggart or somebody that was like potentially, you know, conning people and saying they, you know, like some type of religious charlatan? I'm sorry. I try to be very cautious because I understand, I respect people's views. And if people have views on religion, I respect that. I grew up in the Church of England. I understand. I was an altar girl. It's not like I wasn't involved in the church. I have a real issue that her content went from last week being all about her health and, trying to get healthy. And now, since everybody has been showing Mr. Snowflake just how problematic she continues to be, and she's getting real feisty lately, ever since the Salal thing popped off at the New Year. She's just been on a tangent ever since. I mean, and then the Canada bees was wild too. She went wild. Now she's trying to mask behind this. It was like she's making out that she's like this changed person. But it's funny that this wasn't, she always talks about it, but it's like coming out way more this week. Way more. Girl, we know what you're up to. Most of us are intelligent to know.
Be a lot less selfish.
And most of us are pretty much atheists and don't care. If we point it out.
So, yeah. And I know it sounds weird coming from my mouth.
Let me take this down.
When what used to come from my mouth was, anything but virtuous in any way.
I have a sped at 1.5, and this is the interesting content that Chantel.
This is the small size. The koshery is very filling because it's rich in.
We don't talk about food, Chantel.
Carbs.
Oh God! Oh, she just said it. She just said it. Really? Did you hear her? Sorry, I was talking over her. I'm rude. Hold on, let me go back. She just said it. She just said it's so delicious because of the carbs. I'm not shocked because she seems to think she's infallible. And I'm not shocked because she's truly believes, Anyway, let's take a quick hide, a little peek in the chat. You want to see her toes? Losing her toes. Oh, I think she lost a toe, Finch. I really do. I want to see your toes, Foodie. I want to see where you stubbed the toe in the house. Because now I'm thinking, you mentioned casually on one of your lives that you stubbed a toe. And then we didn't hear, and that the toenail was potentially coming off the toe. Now, I already know that if you have unmanaged diabetes, and you do, because you just talked, and we're going to replay it, about how you love your carbs and you can't keep away from them. You don't really follow up properly with your doctors. You don't get I'm sure don't do the daily foot checks that diabetics are requested to do for their safety. And so I'm thinking that when you started to hobble around that pot, because you were really trying to pick up the walking, because we were all saying you needed to exercise, your videos were boring, and you fall for everything reaction channels say is boring about your content. You're like, I'll show everybody. I'll get out there and start walking around. Well, unfortunately, Foodie, you are somebody that is at a place that you literally need a healthcare provider putting you into an exercise program because you're extremely unhealthy. And I would never advise anybody with this much going on just to nilly-willy start doing an exercise program. You needed to be walking in a pool. But I think you gave yourself an ulcer, a blister or something, or maybe even aggravated the toe that was already bad. And because you can't heal anything because of the increased blood sugars that you got, girl, that you potentially have done something to that foot. And that's why you were down potentially on that couch. I don't think it was sciatica. I think you used the sciatica story because you knew the sciatica story from your grandma. And that's why you were loose and fast about why you couldn't tell people what medications and why you weren't able to really give details like somebody who was a vlogger would do. Somebody who's a vlogger probably would give like really a lot of detail because they want to keep their audience interested. That's why the audience is there. They want to share those parts of their lives. But you gave scanty details, and everyone knew your grandma had sciatica. Now sciatica's mysteriously gone. But we mysteriously only ever see you sitting in that chair. Haven't seen you lying on the couch. We haven't seen you walking around. But you supposedly have been pictured in a wheelchair. There was debate if you were photoshopping that wheelchair, sitting in a clinic in Kuwait, girl. And my thoughts are, you've done something to that foot. So we won't be seeing you walking around. But you won't tell people that, because that would actually be admitting that the diabetes is actually starting to affect you. Because you want to still be out here eating these carbs and trying to show a charade to people. But I promise you, I'm assessing you. And I have years working with people like you. So I don't get fooled so easy, sweetheart. Everybody else on the internet might be giving you a hall pass on your medical shit. But I promise you, I have far too much experience and time spent with patients and assessing patients and working with patients and dealing, especially diabetic and cardiac patients. Spent a lot of time with diabetics, girl. And I know about those toes. And you don't manage your diabetes, girl. And you got on those planes too. Anyway, let me keep going. But yeah, that's what I think is going on, Finch. Foodie's losing toes. That's what happened to the foodie. Oh, absolutely. Those are my thoughts. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. I got a little bit English and a little bit feisty there. They never heal. No, Rosebud, they never heal. I knew somebody whose friend thought it was funny when I was working with a patient at a plastic surgeon's office. He was diabetic. I think he was a type 1. So that, but they still have the same issues with neuropathy. And somebody had taken his flip-flops thinking it was funny. And it was summertime and the tarmac was extremely hot. So his friend goes off in a truck with this man's flip-flops and leaves him barefooted on the tarmac. And he goes to run after the truck to get his flip-flops, not feeling how hot the tarmac is because he's a diabetic and he has neuropathy. And he burnt the bottom of the soles of his feet and did not even realize it was happening. And so he had to keep getting all of this work done to his feet because he burnt his feet up that bad. So it's very dangerous. It's that's why it's just like her being out here and eating all this food. It's really dangerous. And I almost really think that's what happened to Foodie. That is what I think. Her gait, her weight too, but it's more than her weight, Chris. I've seen heavy people walk. Okay. She had a hobble and she was kind of bringing and dragging and like moving the way her gait brought stuff over. I think it's a lot more than just her weight. Everyone's talking about the fupa. I've seen women walk with fupas. They do more of a this type of wide stance, okay? Because I've worked as a plastic surgeon where we've had to remove fupas, okay? I've seen like fupas worse than foodies on people. And the women have to wear dresses because they had to hide the fupa. And you're going to waddle more to try to get, that. She, on the other hand, had a leg that she looked injured. And she was kind of had it straight, and then she was kind of moving it and bringing it forward, which to me struck more from injury. Something being injured, that she was trying to somehow not put pain on that area. That's my assessment into that. Hey, hi, are you serious in the chat? Are you serious? You've got to check out her stuff. She is a great content creator, reactor. I'm sure she may be going live on this tonight. Yeah, her body is in complete pain all the time. All the time. Nice to see you. Are you serious? And thank you for always giving a nice shout out to my channel. I'm just saying that I actually think that Foodie might have had problems with her feet, and that's why we're not seeing her walking. And that her diabetes, she's just saying here that she loves the carbs. And we know her blood sugars are not managed. And this has been going on for quite some time. And that she hurt that foot and then she's walking around in those sketches, that was open for foot ulcers. I think she's done something to her feet. And I think she never would come out and admit it. I think it was much easier to sell a story of sciatica to people in order to, garner sympathy than have people not be very sympathetic knowing that she's eating all this stuff and actually causing herself physical harm. Oh my gosh, Finch. Well, thank you. Well, you're welcome, Finch. That's why I'm here. And thank you for the super chat. I hope that answered your question. I really hope it does. I really do care. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I'm thinking that we didn't even see anyone pushing her in the wheelchair, but I am really thinking that this meal, she's on another carb fest here, and she doesn't count carbs. She's not properly medicated. She is not being seen walking. She is not producing enough activity to actually, use the blood sugar up that's going into this system. This carb got nowhere to go. She's going from that streaming chair, rolling herself onto the couch, and then streaming for 2 or 3 hours. And then maybe, and I was just explaining too about the polyuria, polyphagia, and polydipsia, of all three of which Foodie people are like, what if the diabetes going to get serious? No, her diabetes is already serious. She is on the way to amputation. Anyway, I can't. Oh, she doesn't do feet checks every day, which is absolutely essential for people who are diabetic. Absolutely essential. Well, so it's not. No, they won't heal very well. Especially if she's not managing the diabetes. They will be very slow to heal. Very slow to heal. Extremely slow to heal. Especially with the blood sugars that she's been showing and the types of hemoglobin A1Cs and the fact that it's been way more than 3 months since her last hemoglobin A1C. And I'm sure this thing is high at the moment. Very high. All right. This is somebody who is, and she's trying to talk about rebranding. Oh, you're going to go nuts on this one. Are you serious? If you haven't heard her, I try not to get into the aspects, of her faith, as you know. But it's definitely, going to be a much larger part of her content. So be prepared. Your channel going to be blowing up for it, girl. And obviously, I'm out here watching her with the carb. Jensen, my friend's sores turn into ulcers down to the bone. Yeah, and he almost lost a foot. Absolutely. And I can promise you, you don't want infection going to the bone. That is not a good place to be. It's not a good thing. It's really bad. And these things happen. And most of these people they don't feel good. They really don't. I've worked with so many diabetic patients, and a lot of them, you used to do your feet checks on diabetic times. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, because they don't tell. If you think about being the size of Chantal and trying to get down and check your feet, you're not going to be able to do that. You're just not. You're not going to be able to do that easily. I check my late boyfriend feet every day. Actually, yeah, Patty, you said, yeah, between his toes, arthritis says, thank you. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Patty, I remember you talked about him. Yeah, absolutely. The toes, it's the feet. It's the feet. I'm only borderline diabetic about my feet. Yeah, and if borderline, if you're pre-diabetic, there is chance to, make the lifestyle adjustments and not become, get that insulin back up. And a lot of us, stress, everything can play a part. How would you feel? Lethargic, jittery? That I usually would be thinking, I think she is. I think that she is looking just not well when she comes into it. She's so slow when she eats. Even, I know she's partly trying to put on a facade that she is, this very demure woman now, and that the foodie that we knew, she just put that in the past. She doesn't have to pay any consequences for anything or pay any type of, really sort of make a real serious, reflection as to who she is. No, she's just going to get out here and she's just going to tell us, but I don't think body pain. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you have to think with all those blood sugar that's got to be left in her circulation of her blood system. And it's just, it's like shards of fiberglass rolling around her vasculature, just ripping off of those veins. I mean, she's got to be feeling rough. I mean, you cannot be eating this every day and not active. And, she's in a very bad place, I would say, for her health.
This is the small size. The koshery is very filling because it's rich in
looks good.
Carbs. The lentils and chickpeas are good sources of protein, though, and the brown rice.
OMG. OMG. Guys, she's been eating for 13 minutes. And if you remember, she probably used a minute or 30 seconds or whatever to put the food together. And she has managed to consume, I think all that bread is gone. I don't know if there's still some over there. But she has taken down most of that bowl, which was probably a portion for 2 people. And just look at this face, how swollen this is here. There's something not symmetrical. This is just concerning. Her eyes, look around here, look concerning. She just doesn't look good. Every day I see her coming out, she looked a little bit better in Canada. But since she's been here and since she's kind of come down, since that 3K hobble, she just doesn't look good. She really doesn't look good. Lacks nutrition. Right. And most of us, unfortunately, as we reach a certain age, we don't synthesize vitamin D the same way we did when we were younger. So we actually need bigger doses in order to kind of get the same bang for our buck, if you may. So as we get older, we do need to make sure we're getting our levels checked, especially for those of us who live in countries where we're often working inside. The time we spend outside, even at the weekend, it's just not enough. And then most of us, if you're like me, you're probably covering up with sunscreen because you're scared of the skin cancers. So it's like, oh, what do I do? Well, I'd rather not get skin cancer. I can promise you that much. So I'll just take the vitamin D supplement and get the lab work. That's kind of how I see it. Because I worked with people with getting skin cancers, and I would never want to have that. I've just got the water now because we're all going after for the fruit juice.
Let's try this.
I don't know how you can't care about your health. She does.
I'm going to try to make it.
She says she does. Lifestyle motivation coach now. Imagine getting motivation from this girl about to take down a dessert.
I mean,
as a type 2
pistachios, but whatever.
Whatever. That's why she's called Whatever Mariam. That's why you're called Whatever Mariam. Now, you're not Everyday Mariam. You're Whatever Mariam. Because that's what you say all the time. And that's what children say when they can't rectify a situation. That's what people say when they're trying to be flippant. And you're being flippant, Chantel, and you know you are. You're being flippant, and your audience is having to watch this nonsense. Yes.
One of my favorite Arabic desserts.
That looks delicious, but not for you.
So yeah.
Hands away from that cream.
I just want to clarify. That's not why I'm made the change to my channel. That's because it was time for a change.
What's changed?
Even
what
if it's just
changed?
I'm not trying to escape my past at all. Because at least not what's online. Because honestly, I have escaped my past. I'm not living in the past anymore. Everyone online is, but I'm not. So that's all that matters.
Yes.
So in that sense,
yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to wait for a better stop. But yes, thank you, Shelly. Or Sam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just cut back on the salt. Absolutely. I want to, when you see the hand, somebody was saying to me the other day, how can you tell when somebody's so heavy that they don't look, dolty eyes. Actually got the rage pinky, the dolty eyes, lion eyes. That, how can you tell? I promise you, I've worked with enough patients of all sizes, especially in the cardiac world. The kidneys. Oh, yeah. The kidneys are going to go out one or two ways. Either with an AKA or I don't want to get into the technical. If she has a cardiac event or something, she could have an acute kidney injury. But if she just continues having heart failure and this stuff going on, because I know she's not watching her blood pressure and eating all this stuff, that she's actually could have chronic kidney injury leading to dialysis. That's part of, and she's no health insurance. She's not following anybody. So she's really going to have issues. As much as she wants to be whatever Mariam, which is what I said, she's going to have really bad issues. She's really in a bad place. This is why she cannot be saying that she is some type of motivational coach or lifestyle coach. You are not a motivation, Chantel. You are not the person to. No, you did, Angela? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. I hope it's righted itself, though. Acute kidney injuries, you can hopefully, it's never good to have. I wouldn't want that on anybody. I'm sorry to hear that. I very much am. I'm here because I do care. I would love to see Chantel improve, but she's not. So I just use her as an example of what not to do. But yeah, if I see her hand in a real swollen place, we're going to stop. Right there. Oh, shit. No, hold on. Let me try again.
That's something that everyone should do. Like, you can't stay stuck in the past. You can't.
There we go. Perfect. This is what I wanted to show you guys. That looks like she has edema. That looks like fluid being held on the hands there to me. That's what that looked like. I'd like to press it to see if I could see what level of edema it is, because I could tell if it was pitting or non-pitting. There's a way to test the skin. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's okay, Junebug. Sorry. My dog thought I was knocking it. No, it's okay. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest coming to my house uninvited. It's okay. Come here, sweetheart. It's okay. It's okay. That was mommy tapping the table. Yeah, I apologize. I won't do that again. I apologize, guys. It's okay. Woof, woof. Yeah. I know. Woof, woof. I know. She has no knuckles. No, this is beyond just somebody having morbid obesity. This looks like more fluid being held right in there. Yeah, she would tell her to please get help to the ED. Yeah, but she don't care because she's whatever. She's made changes. She's glowing up. She's put everything in the past. The diabetes is gone too. If you just wish it away and don't pay any attention, it won't be there any longer. Didn't you know that, guys? That's what happens when you're Chantel. This is bad. She got a lot going on, man. She don't look good. The lethargy, I was going to say, often comes more with hypoglycemia. They get real lethargic and they start to lose like their level of consciousness. Whereas like if you get really bad with the hyperglycemia, though, you can kind of start to go like you start to lose a little bit of your level of consciousness. Probably usually hypoglycemia, you're going to get more of the sweats, the jitters. That's more losing your blood sugar. She's more going to be just peeing all the time, eating all the time, wanting to drink all the time because she's just not got any, blood sugar converting.
And a lot of people live like that.
Yeah.
My grandmother lived like that.
That's right.
Stuck in the past, and she was extremely depressed. It's not healthy to keep beating yourself up over things from the past that you can't change. You know, what's done is done. Repent, learn from it, move on. But yeah, this is really good. Probably very easy to make. I'll have to
Oh wow, doesn't she just seem cheerful? Wouldn't you want to come to Chantel's channel to think, gosh, I really feel like I want to get to my favorite creator and share dinner with her tonight because she's so cheerful. She's so happy. She got so much information to share with me. I'm going to have a great time. And then you land on this miserable individual complaining that she can't be kept in the past. Well, if you hadn't wanted people, Chantel, to know those things, and because you knew you were making money from your behaviors, most people think about what they should put online. Even before the dawn of the internet, there were those of us who realized that you just don't stick everything out in public. And then there's the other people that think that there isn't a problem. And usually the people who don't think it's a problem to put everything online tend to get a little bit more trouble because then everybody knows your history, you know? So it's just a tale of caution there sometimes. The ring is stuck on that finger. I promise you, if she ever had to have surgery, they're going to have to surgically cut that ring away. That thing not slipping off the finger. There's no soap that's going to take that ring off. That ring is stuck on. Even when she was mad at Salau and probably wanted to throw the ring off in the car or do something dramatic with the ring, that ring probably was not budging for dear life. It's probably actually cutting the circulation off on her finger. And she's talking about her grandma being stuck in the past, girl. Stop using your grandma's stories. That poor grandma not around to defend herself anymore, Chantel. You need to stop using your grandma's stories. Oh, somebody brought up a very good point. Words of wisdom. Yeah. So for preaching words of wisdom, she cannot hold her. But she's changed, everybody. We should just let her go. We should just, it's only, somebody else can judge her and we should just let it go. And here it is. She has said several times over the years that she'd rather eat what she wants and unalive young than make changes to get healthy. Well, she's absolutely proving that point right today. She absolutely is. And I was told by all the nurses they loved me and they were one friend have to. I promise you, if Chantel was somebody's patient, she would be the one patient that you could get rid of each shift. Because I let you guys know, if you see your nurse the next day and she's on the floor, that means she liked you. And if you see that she gets a whole different set of patients or the same patients and you're the one patient she didn't get, that means she didn't think you were a very nice person in that room. Okay? We all understand that you don't feel good. So we give you some leeway. Okay? I promise you. I, as a nurse, are always like, well, they're sick because they don't feel good. But there's people who don't feel good. And then there's just total. And then Chantel would be one of those patients. Chantel would be one of those people that I would love to just have that call bell going for 5 or 10 minutes. Obviously, you don't do that. But you don't want to be spending a lot of time in Chantel's room. You really don't, because she's going to be a high maintenance patient. And that half of the reason why or the majority of the reasons why her horse in the hospital is because she ate her horse into there. And so it's really hard when you're somebody who works hard, tries to take care of their health and is literally breaking their back to move people like this girl up in the bed. So, it's wild. And I think sometimes people like these types of people just take advantage of people. She's a user. as we call her in England. She uses people. All right, let me not take up all your time.
Check out a recipe. I think like people ask me about hobbies.
You don't have any hobbies, girl.
I'd like to make like a
Eating is your hobby. Talking about
like a
food.
scrapbook.
Stuff in your face.
Make like one for all my Arabic recipes I learned. I'm full.
Chantel, you've not learned one Arabic recipe. The only recipes that you've learned is off the takeout menu, girl. That's not learning Arabic recipes. Okay? That'd be like me saying I know how to cook Mexican food. Because I promise you, after 7 years in Mexico, the only thing I can make is guacamole. Okay? My ex-husband was, I was very fortunate, and we were able to have somebody who cooked in our home. And she was excellent. So there was no reason for me to cook. The only thing I learned how to make really was guacamole. I don't claim to cook. So you sitting there saying you're out there doing a collection of Arabic recipes. Oh, fuck off, girl. No, Jesus off. I'm sorry. Look at that face. This to me, this is sanctimonious Chantel right here. Here she is. I can't be held accountable. I can't be responsible. Oh, those things are the past. I'm a much better person now. I don't need to take care of my animals. I don't need to be ever paying taxes to the government in Canada. I don't ever even have to apologize. Girl, when people actually are feeling like they need to change, they go around and apologize to all the people they hurt in their lives. They don't just wash stuff under a rug. They actually do make changes. That means they don't carry on the same grifts and scams. But you're not doing that, girl. That's beyond what you're able to do. Sanctimonious. She looks miserable. Yeah, she does, Rose. Yeah, miserable. Would anybody want to buy a book of Chantel's recipe? Talk about her hobbies. Girl, you don't have the energy to get outside for a hobby because you don't feel good. I promise you, when you don't feel good, you don't feel like getting on with a bunch of hobbies. And you're eating this much all the time because you've got raging polyphagia going on, which means you just constantly want to eat because that food isn't becoming energy. So you just have to keep putting more in. But that's because your insulin isn't working. But you just don't get it. And you're okay to die. That's okay. That's your choice. But you need to take yourself off of the internet while you do it. Because that's problematic to other people and triggering. And you never trigger warning your stuff. I trigger warning every time I come out here because I know you got nonsense going, girl. She's the cautionary tale. She's up there with Life by Jen, though. And we keep seeing more and more of it because we all feel bad that we shouldn't, say to somebody that their weight could cause them problems. Because that's not respectful to somebody and who they are as a person. And I think that calling people names and using terms that of people's size derogatorily is shameful. And you should never do that to somebody. And I would never want to call Chantel any of those names. But I will call her out for not managing her health and trying to tell people that she is and that she can do whatever she wants. Because I've read comments where people actually follow her for the health and weight journey. And so that to me is a problem. And I don't like it. I'm so tired of unlicensed, uncertified people trying to teach health and wellness because they put a piece of food in their mouth or they went to the gym. I'm tired of it. It does not make you a health expert. Promise you. There's way more into it than that. You're coming down with a cold. I'm down with a cold coming on. Oh, well, just make sure you drink lots of water. Stay hydrated, okay? Colds and things, it's a virus, all right? So don't go baffling your doctor off. You probably know this already. But for anybody else who does not know and who's kind of new to my channel, if you have a cold, there's no Z-Pack or anything that's going to, no antibiotic going to help. Best thing is rest, plenty of water. because the water is going to help with the inflammation. It's an inflammatory process, often, especially with itis, inflammation. So it's an inflammatory process. Lots of water. Okay, I know everyone talks about vitamin C. There's no, are you too, Angel of Glass? Well, I'm sorry to hear you're getting a cold, guys. Yeah, I just say always, there's no evidence about the vitamin C. Obviously, people should just drink that or eat or have that in their diet. I wouldn't suggest drinking orange juice. She is somebody who needs to stay away from juice because of the diabetes. But I still think she took a toe out. All right, she's got just 1 minute and we'll be done, guys. I so appreciate you spending your time with me today. Oh, God, look at that. No, you shouldn't drink juice. Juice is terrible.
I had that song in my head all day.
Nobody should drink juice.
Anyway,
I stay away from that stuff.
Pretty good, yeah. Sometimes I crave it. Like, I don't know. Good vegetarian meal. It's actually a vegan meal, I think. Yeah. Yeah, vegan. Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to think if there's any animal products in it. I mean, the kosher is the sandwich now. But that was, yeah.
You had a sandwich?
Anyways, guys, so I just wanted to clarify that again. This is a different phase, different times. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream. Bye, guys.
Oh, gosh. All right, Foodie, you're going away. All right, guys. She looks like she could fall asleep. Absolutely. Yeah, she kept a big stomach. Yeah. She looks like she's constant clarifications. Oh, absolutely. Are you serious? Oh, you're going to have a field day with her new content. I know you are. Because she has to rebrand. The sciatica art can only go on but so far. But she don't feel good. She's going to roll herself right off of that mukbang that she just did. This is her new content, okay? This is the org. This is the new invention. She's going to be doing a mukbang every day. And I'm going to call her out for being an unmanaged diabetic and how terrible that is. At some point, I hope to add in some new characters because I really want to go through Amberlynn and Glitter and Lisa's lymphedema and lipidemia and just some of the things going on there. And if there's thinner people too, I mean, I can talk about, but I think we kind of know what's happening with Dina Cooney. There isn't really much to talk about her food. That's a very sad situation that should not be allowed to be seen on YouTube. Some problems that I see with YouTube and their content allowances in terms of service for some people. But Foodie literally is going to wake up. She's going to mukbang. She's going to roll off the couch or roll out of that streamer chair. And then she's going to go and sit on the couch for 3 hours and bore her audience to tears on a live stream. And she's going to live stream. I'll let you know if I probably pulled up her at the moment. She's probably live streaming, which I will not live stream her. I will end this, but just out of absolute curiosity, let's see if she's live streaming now. Because it's like the sort of stuff she do. I see, oh gosh, I'm going to give a shout out. Are you serious, guys? It's going to be coming on at 6 o'clock tonight. So if you want to look into some of her, if you want to sort of see how she takes, because she's a very different viewpoint. I come here medical. Are you serious? Is somebody who follows the Muslim faith. And so she gets into more of that aspect of Chantel and how potentially she's not always, following things as necessarily per her religion. Okay, I don't want to try to say because I'll make a mess of it how I explain it. Because is that nice? Okay, I hope I explained that well because I do try to be respectful. I told you you love both channels. Thank you, Rosebud. I'm like, obviously I told you I'm a loose, Church of England. Oh, it's just started raining, so we got your stuff. Let's see what. Oh, look at these plenties over here. Aren't they cute? Oh, so you can't see them. I was looking at some pit bulls. Okay, but yeah, check her out tonight. She's going to give a whole different prospect if you just want to keep, just to hear the different types of angles that we have, because everybody thinks a little bit differently. Okay. Let me see if Foodie's come out with anything, because she's just going to roll from the meal to the live stream. That's kind of how it goes now. And that is the height of her content, because I don't even think she got the energy. She probably can't even see very well to do that gaming thing. because she's never wearing glasses. She never wears glasses. Oh, somebody says that she's deleted all her videos. Oh, it's me. Okay, so hold on. Let me bring this up real fast because I'm talking about it and I'm not showing my screen. And then we'll call it a night and let you guys. And I'm obviously going to be cooking dinner and listening to Are You Serious and what interesting things she's got to say tonight. So I'm going to have fun this Saturday. Okay. Did you? I don't think you meant that word though, Angel. I just had that fun. All right. Yes, we all love Are You Serious? We are so excited that her channel, and I'm so excited that we get to have her perspective because I think it's really important, especially on this new art, because she's really trying to say she's reinvented herself. And you've not reinvented anything. It's mukbang stream. Okay, let's see. All right, we got okay. So now we get to see. This is what I just put Foodie Beauty in. We've got this is what comes up in my search. Foodie Beauty has changed so much, she had to tell us again. Foodie Beauty deletes all video showing her hair someone took. And then it's me. Yay, thank you guys. Then we've got Milk Tea, who I like. And then it goes in. And then we got Everyday Mariam. Let's get into her channel. She can't even compete with everybody else on a YouTube search. And let's see if she went live at all. No, she's not, but she's got to be getting close because it's about 22, 23 hours. Oh, yeah, she does this like every 3 months. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She does it all the time. But the problem is that everyone steals her. She probably had the @Foodie Beauty handle. And then when she changed her status, I'm sure someone grabbed that handle and put some nonsense in there. Or whatever needed to be called out for her at the time. And then the next came in that, they had, oh gosh, I can't with her sometimes. She's just trying to keep changing. It's like, you haven't changed. Nothing changed. All right. Well, she's probably going to be going live soon. She's going to be going live. Oh, then they took the handle at @Foodie B. So she's running out of handle. She's running out of handles. So she's, the one that everybody knows her as is Foodie Beauty. So she can't get rid of, you don't want to get rid of your brand. That is literally your brand. And Are You Serious? Somebody was telling me, and I couldn't find which chat or comment board I pinned it to, but somebody had commented that she is now trying to become a lifestyle and motivation coach under the name Everyday Mariam. And if you Google it, you can find her trying to offer these coaching services or something. So it's quite wild. It's quite wild. And she's still trying to get the cameos out, because she's got to make that cameo coin and doing all those things. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you all. We've been here for almost 2.5 hours. That's a pretty decently long live stream. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding, Angel of Glass. She is absolutely going to be trying. She's really trying to, as I was saying, Are You Serious? I think she's just trying to move the con to other platforms because she's got to keep the con going. She's got to keep the con going, man. And, because she's the YouTube is the money con. But anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to say bye. Let me bring up my my little bit of music. Let everyone get ready. Hope you have a great Saturday, whatever you're doing. I appreciate all the supers. Thank you so much for those of you who did those. I know I'm really bad about, let me just make sure I thank these people real fast, and then I will bring up my music and finish out the day. I just want to make sure I thank people here. Okay. Oh, I can't see that. Okay. Usually, oh, hold on. Some people saying, you know,
I don't
peace,
want to play. That's what
calm,
I don't want to do.
no explanation.
All
Oh
right.
gosh, you got
I
something
failed.
fun coming
Okay.
up with
I
the
know
protocol.
Harper was one. And
All
I
right,
can't remember
guys.
the first person who sent me
Some
something.
of the people,
I want to make
obviously,
sure that
you
I
know,
didn't
when it
miss
goes out on
anybody
your
out
community
here
tab,
for
it's not
anything
going out
forward,
into the
'cause
public sphere.
I'm really bad.
But
Oh, Miss
Simone, you
Harper, I
think
know I
she's got
showed this one, and thank you so
Mary-
much.
desperation, food,
And then there was one earlier, and
food,
I'm so
desperation,
sorry.
never
I'm gonna
accountable?
just lose my
No,
audience
she's
at this
just,
point because
you
I
know,
need to get
she's
better
in
with this.
Kuwait.
There's so many comments, I can't even see.
She's got
And
a
the other person,
husband.
there was somebody earlier in the chat
She's
who dropped me
married.
a super thanks, and I thank you
She's
so
a
much for that.
revert.
All of you who
She's a
did that.
Muslim
It is
revert.
so much appreciated. You
And
don't
she's a
really
good
understand.
person.
YouTube
And
loves
that's
me
what we
having the
just should know.
engagement, and I
Anything
love
that she-
engaging with you all. So I just want to say thank you. Let me bring up my music, and we will call this a day. And have a great evening, everybody. And I hope you learned something. And I can't wait to see what Foodie's next nonsense is. Bye.